Welcome to all. Now today I discuss how to generate the following given pyramid. Okay, so you can see this pyramid, and you can also see there is some spaces in front of the stars. Okay, so now I demonstrate how it is can do. Now I replace these spaces using dot because it can easily visualize how many dots are there in front of star. Okay, and we create a tracing table that helps to understand the logic how to do. Okay, so I is the layer number, that is 1 to 7. Here is 7 layer, and B is represent as the blank spaces entered in each layer, and star represent how many star is printing in each layer. Okay, so you can see that in layer 1 to 4 the space is blank space is decreased 4 to 1, and the star is increased 1 to 4. And in the layer 5 to 7 you can see the blank space is increased 2 3 4, and the star is decreased 3 to 1. So you can visualize there are two pyramid. One pyramid is shown as it, and the second pyramid is the layer 5 to 7. It is looks the reverse of the first pyramid. Okay, so now you can see that the in the first pyramid the blank space and star is increasing. Star is increasing by one and space is decreasing by one, and the second pyramid the star is decreasing by one and b is increasing by one. So now I go to the programming part. Here you can see that at first we take has defined layer is 7, and you can see that if we divide this pyramid in two parts, then we must need mid value of this layer. This mid value how to calculate, that is layer plus 1 by 2 equals to 4, that is the mid of the layer. But in the first pyramid this mid value is also the max layer of this first pyramid. So we take max equals to layer plus 1 by 2, that means it is 4. Okay, so and here initialize space equals to max minus 1, because the for loop is start from 0 to space. So if space is max, then it means j equals to 0 to 4, that means the count is 5. But we can see very clearly that it start for blank space is start for 4 to 1. So we take space equals to max minus 1, that means it is 3. So the for loop j equals to 0 to j less than 3, the count is 4. So there's print 4 spaces. And next you can see that the inner loop, which print the star that start from j equals to 0 to j less than equals to 1. That means the at first the I is 0, so j less than equals to I means j less than equals to 0. So the first at the first iteration of the outer for loop, it must be print one star only. Okay, and we also print a blank space after the star printing. Why this blank space is needed? Because we can see each star have the space. Two star have the space between each other. Okay, so we need to print the space. At first this is not needed, but the second step it is needed. So I also print this star and one spaces. Okay, and in the next line we can see when this for loop is exists, then the printf is slash n. This slash n means the new line. So in the second iteration, we go to the second line or second layer, and in the second layer space is decreased. So we decrease the space, that is space minus minus. It also equal to space equals to space minus 1. Okay, and when the outer loop is increase I plus plus, that means I equals to 1, then the space also j equals to 0 and j less than space is now the space value is 2, so their count is 3, so it print the 3 spaces in the second layer, and j equals to 0 to j less than equals to I, that means it is 1, so it print to star. This loop is repeated 2 times, so it print to star, and next it go to the next line, and the space is also decreased, so it comes to the third layer, and in this way it is print the first pyramid. Okay, that means the half pyramid of this pyramid. Okay, I get this pyramid. If we comment this line, you can see, if we run this, cannot save it. So at first we save it, and you can see. Okay, I will give this and this. So you can see this first, and then now then it is successfully compiled. Now I run, and then you can see this pyramid is shown. Only the first pyramid is give the output, and now we generate the second one. Okay, the second one is the this pyramid. Okay, this 5 to 7 layer, because here already 1 2 3 4 layer is completed, so only next 3 layer must be completed. So now we go to this part. Okay, so if we go there, and now at the first step you can see that the in the fifth layer you can see that the space is start with 2. So at first I initialize, when the second pyramid is start to print, we first assign space equals to 1. Okay, and go to the uncomment this part, you can understand easily that next. Okay, now and control s, save this, and now you can see this second phase is start with here, repeat it again, that means space equals to 1. Now the next outer loop start with I equals to max 2, I greater than 0, and I minus minus, because we can easily see that the next pyramid is reverse of this pyramid. Okay, so we can use for loop in decreasing order. Okay, so at first I equals to max, that means max is 4, so I equals to 4, and I greater than 0, that means if this for loop is iterative in 3 times. Okay, and now we go to the spacing part, that is j equals to 0 and j greater than space, that means at first space is 1, so it take 2 spaces and so print into space. And in the next for loop, this is j equals to 0 to j greater than I minus 1, that means I is now 4, 4 minus 1 is 3, and also j less than 3, that means the count is 3. So the this loop print 3 times this start and with this space. Okay, and after that, when it out for this loop, it goes to the next line, that is printf slash n, so it goes to the new line, that is next layer, and here the space is increasing. In the second pyramid, second half of this pyramid, the space is increasing, so I increase the space plus 1. Okay, space plus plus means space equals to space plus 1. So in the next iteration, I is then I minus minus, that means I becomes to 3, that is first was 4, so now it is I equals to 3. Now space is also increased, so here the space is printing in 2 times, and then next I is now 3, 3 minus 1 is 2, so j less than 2, that means j this for loop print 2 times this star, so 2 star is printed, and next this go to the next line and space is also increased. So in the third time, the I is becomes 2, so first 3 2, and 3 to 2, and j is space is also increasing, so it print 3 times space, and next I is 2, that means 2 minus 1 1, and j equals to 0 to j less than 1, that means it print 1 star, so it go to the next line and increase the space. But when it goes to this for loop, that means it get a now I is 1, that is means I greater than 0, so it will not print anything. Okay, so our program is completed. So if we run this code, you can see our star full pyramid is printed. Okay, we can also use this layer number change, that is it becomes 7 to 9, then you can see this effect. The layer is increased. Okay, and the pyramid is also increased. Okay, and we also used user defined input, that is we can use scanf to take the layer number from the user. Okay, now I think you can understand this concept fully, and you can try more pyramid to better understand. Okay, thank you.